Hello, welcome to InGeneral, the Jurassic Outpost podcast, episode 160. My name is Jack, and on this episode, I'm joined with Caleb, Jaden, and a very special guest, Dan, stuck on Sorna, Stevens. How you doing, buddy?
Oh, I'm doing great. Thanks for having me.
It's your weekend. It's yours and Jaden's weekend. It's JP3 weekend.
Hell yeah.
Oh yeah, it's a holiday.
Yeah.
Happy JP3.
Yeah, July 18th, right? Was that the worldwide release date, or was that just America?
That's a good question. I don't know. I
think
mean,
it might be different in Australia because I know September is Jurassic Park release date here.
Okay.
So yeah,
Wait,
I'll double check that.
September. Wait, what did you say?
September is when Jurassic Park came out in Australia. So we have a different release date compared to the rest of the world.
Wow. Wait, check
Yeah.
when JP3 was released to you then.
I'm checking that now exclusively. I
Live.
would assume that like it was the same because it was like 2000. But
Okay, well, while you're there, I want to hear every country's release date for JP3.
Oh no, yeah, no. Oh wait, no. What the hell? Okay, why did it come out with Jurassic Park 3? I mean,
Jaden is our guy in the chair.
30th of August, 2001 is when it came out in Australia.
Wait, what date?
30th of August.
30th.
Wow.
Of August. Yeah. Wow.
And you call me future boy, but back then we weren't in the future.
Yeah. Okay. Well, what day is it today? Saturday. Yeah. Yesterday was July 18th, Jurassic Park 3's 24th birthday, and yeah, I mean it's a special day for the fans. Dan, how did you celebrate?
You know what? It was tough. It's funny. I was in the office at work. I work hybrid, but I was stuck in the office yesterday, and nobody else gets it. I'm sitting there like it's July 18th. What are we doing? Why aren't we at least like listening to the soundtrack through the speakers? But nobody gets it. So you come home. My wife gets it. She understands. It's July 18th. So
she had the DVD waiting for you.
No, she didn't. I wish that would have been great. I mean, the past couple of years we've watched it on the projector on July 18th if it works out.
Nice.
So just kind of watched it I still watch it on DVD. I don't even have the Blu-ray.
Wow.
I just have JP3 on DVD. So.
It's funny. I remember, like most of the time, I grew up with it on DVD. Then was it 2011 when the Blu-ray, like the Blu-ray trilogy set kind of came out? I think it was 2011. And then I remember watching it for the first time on the 4K release and wondering what the hell they've done to it. They somehow made it super desaturated, kind of ugly in that 4K transfer. I don't know what happened there, but it wasn't a good look.
Yeah, I don't know if I'm ready for that. I stick with what I grew up watching. I'll probably watch it on VHS once a year just to get that look. I mean, when you watch movies from 2001 on VHS, like on an old TV, I mean, any kind of like flaw in CGI is just covered up with like the grain of that VHS quality. So I mean, same goes for watching like Lord of the Rings or Armageddon. Watching on VHS, a different experience.
Yeah. Yeah, I did that a couple years ago in Canada. I watched it one morning, I think. Woke up really early for some reason. I was like, I'm going to watch Jurassic Park 3 on VHS for some reason. And felt like a kid that morning. It was like Christmas. It really is the best way to watch it.
Yeah, watching it on a DVD or a VHS, like also on a TV that is like pre-2010 or like pre-2005, like if you still have one of those laying around, like makes it a great experience.
Truly.
Yeah, that's true. I've tried watching it like on a new TV with the VCR hooked up to it. Terrible experience. You need to have like the 1975, like really like a big tube TV. In the picture, it's not bad.
CRT, yeah. Oh man, I love it. I think I sent you a little video, Caleb. Yesterday I was grilling on the barbecue.
Yeah.
And but I was playing. It was the 18th, so I had Randy Newman playing.
Yes.
Nice.
I mean, you have to. Big hat, no cattle.
Big hat, no cattle.
I love it.
So good. It's a
Jaden,
song about Paul Kirby.
Yeah,
It really
Easy
yeah,
is.
sub.
totally. Kirby Paint Towel. Jaden, talk to us. JP3, go.
The greatest movie of all time, the greatest thing to touch cinema. I will say that with chest all the time. JP3 Glazer, you know, it is like as you said, JP3 does feel like Christmas. It's just a fever dream, you know. It's just like it's just iconic. I have a tattoo of a Spinosaurus, which like I kind of realized that I really do have. I was like, shit, I legit got like a whole Spinosaurus on my arm because of this movie. Because I made a stupid TikTok yesterday. I was like, what the hell? I was like, this movie has like really consumed my life, and I didn't really notice it until like yesterday. And even like on Friday, I watched Jurassic Park 3, and everyone's like, you watched this last week for your birthday, and then the week leading up to like Rebirth and stuff like that. I was like, yeah, and it's that's why July is amazing. Jurassic Park 3, my birthday. It's just the perfect combination.
True.
It's always been a. I think it's. I honestly, I think it was Assis that said it best. Jurassic Park 3 is like the perfect dose of Jurassic. If you want to watch Jurassic, but you're not quite, you don't have 2 hours. Like JP3 is the perfect length. It just in and out. And I was reading some of the original reviews and some of the reactions and some of the stuff that the cast and crew had said about it back in the day, and they all described it like a steam train. It just flies through, but in a very efficient way. Um, yeah, I really I had a lot of fun with it, and there was a, I think I linked it to some of you guys. There's this YouTube channel called Film Speak, and they did a video a month or so ago that was like why the Lost World is the perfect Jurassic sequel, and it makes some really good points, better
Not
articulated
biased
than
at
I
all,
could
by
ever
the way.
be. Well, they they followed up like a week or two ago with a video that's called "We Were Wrong About Jurassic Park 3," and it analyzes the movie in a way that could sway you. I think if you didn't like JP3, I think they made some really strong arguments for why it's still a great movie, and all things considered with the screenplay and things like that, and the way that they kind of like got thrown out. Um, it is still pretty impressive that they were able to pull off what they pulled off. Um, Even like the stuff with the Kirby's, it's laughable. They are the comedic aspect of that movie, but their sort of like character arc works and it's played out pretty well. Same with, and we'll get into this because I want to talk about those original scripts, especially the Bookman script. But the fact that Alan Grant starts that movie by saying, you know, they're theme park monsters, nothing more. He doesn't even consider them to be real dinosaurs. But by the end of the movie, after he's had a chance to admire them again, probably through a different lens, he realizes, he makes that acknowledgement that they are animals. They are, and he's kind of becomes a little bit obsessed with the raptors. So yeah, no, I love it. I love it. Big fan. Great movie. Would watch.
Even as someone who prefers to like watch these movies and Jurassic movies in chronological order, like I have multiple memories of just saying like I want to watch JP3 like completely by itself and just putting it on as a comfort movie, and like what you're saying about it being the perfect dose of Jurassic, like so true. And I think that's like so much of its appeal now is like it's just a shot of Jurassic enjoyment and adrenaline that you can just put on. And I wanted to say, when Jurassic Park 3 came out, it was the first like Jurassic. I'm way too young, but like it's the first Jurassic I remember seeing trailers for and like commercials for on TV, and I wanted to see it, but my parents didn't let me because it was too scary. So like I wonder how my Jurassic fandom would have changed if I had seen Jurassic Park 3 at the time. But like I I love it now. So yeah.
Can I ask a question? Is this a safe space?
Yes.
Would you say that the Paul Kirby or like the Kirby family is the best family in the franchise? You know, they rescue a divorced family. You know what I
There's
mean?
a
Like I
there's a
feel like it.
consideration there. Yeah.
Yeah, I would say
I would
so.
say they're the best family in the franchise, and that's not me being like a Jurassic Park 3 glazer. I'm just saying from what we got, and how the mess of a family it was at the start, to then coming back and like, we're not getting divorced anymore, Eric. Family's back. Hell yeah.
I feel you. I feel you. I I so they're in the analysis they taught that film speak video, which I would highly recommend watching if you're listening to this pod, because it really does make some strong arguments for JP3. But it talks about how um the Kirbys are one
I'm
divorced
definitely
couple. It
frozen.
also deals with the theme of divorce. Grant and Ellie are divorced in that film, and I think that was always such a the Grant and Ellie being divorced thing is always such a point of contention. But the more I've matured and grown up, and I really like the fact that Joe Johnston made that cool of them not being together, because it's you know set aside the age difference, whatever you want to call it, it plays into the same way how Ian Malcolm has changed Lost World. He's serious signs of like PTSD from what happened to them. That like the same would be true for Dr. Grant, for Ellie, and I just feel like when couples have a shared trauma, sometimes that ends in they can't be together anymore because they just remind each other of the trauma. I feel like it's such a strong choice to have them not together anymore, but I don't know. I might be alone in that.
But I agree because like divorce and relationship issues and separation is like a theme in every Jurassic movie pretty much. And like that's JP3 has one of the best like iterations of it for sure.
Yeah, no, I agree. For years, I hated that they were separated, and it took me a while to kind of get over that. Now I look at it like, yeah, it was a brilliant move. It needed to be done, and I think maybe even with Dominion, where they kind of forced them back together, and I was like, that kind of like solidified why I like JP3 and separating them, because it felt so like you guys are back together. Mark and I are divorced. We're done. But yeah, I'm all about them being separated. It makes sense. But for years, yeah, I was very against it.
Yeah, I think when I was younger, it was like, why? How could this be? But through an older lens, it's definitely a wise choice.
Hey,
Plus,
Alan and Ellie, one of the best kisses in cinema, though. I think that was good stuff. But I don't know, maybe that's just me.
I'll never forgive Dominion for not using Billy for calling like Alan when like Ellie comes to the dig site in Dominion.
Right.
You're like, you're gonna want to come see that. Like, imagine if that was just Billy. Like, why? Like, even just Billy's
So
voice,
simple.
it would have just been iconic. Just one little like JP3 nod. I know that the resonating forever ended.
Imagine Ellie throws open the doors to the tent and it's just Billy, and she's like, "Where's Alan? What?"
yeah,
Oh.
no, it's just Paul Kirby, like just waiting there again. I love it, man. I like as much as like I'll preface this because I know people in the comments will be having a go, but it obviously isn't quite there with the first two. It is on a different level, but the more time has gone on, it really has just become this. Just it fits in so well with that original trilogy. Again, I know some people will disagree with that, but I think even speaking through nostalgia and all of that, it is such a great little piece of Jurassic. One of the things I do want to talk about, however, because as we know, JP3 went through hell. Um, uh, I was watching some of that today, like while I was driving, I was listening to the making ofs. Trust me, I wasn't watching it while I was driving. I swear. But where they were all talking about like William H Macy saying who launched this ship without a rudder, this $100 million ship or whatever, and it's what they all went through is hell, but it's crazy they were able to pull something off. But what I want to talk about is some of those original drafts, the original scripts. There was obviously the very first idea. Dan, you can help shed some light into this, but there was the very first idea that Spielberg had, which I'm very glad they didn't go with, the whole idea of Alan Grant already lives on the island like a Robinson Crusoe. Just I don't see any of that working. But there was the second, what we call the second idea, right? The Craig Rosenberg script, which has been described. I can't remember if it was in the Ultimate Visual History Guide or where it was described, but it was described as like a teen slasher. Um, what do we know about that iteration of this movie.
Yes, I have read about the being called like a teen slasher, but I've never read anything beyond that that indicates it was going to be like some kind of horror film set on an island. With the Craig Rosenberg script, from what I recall, it was basically like two planes headed to the island. One had like the kids on the plane, one like the adults, and somehow like one crashes or they get separated, and it's basically a bunch of like teens trying to survive. And there's like storyboard images from I think Dave Lowry, who storyboarded a good amount of that script with like a raft sequence and some scenes where like there's like the teens crawling on like a catwalk where there's like raptors underneath them.
Oh
I think
yeah.
was it Derek Davis I think interviewed Dave Lowry also, and I think he shared some of the images too. But beyond that, I mean, I don't know much. I know Joe Johnston called it like a bad episode of Friends.
That's right.
So that's a
Yeah,
pretty
yeah,
good quote.
yeah.
Which I would I'm so curious like what that means exactly. You know, I mean, just
Yeah.
it's just
Yeah.
like goofy dialogue. I mean, I can't really
Teen
picture
dialogue.
it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Precipiclops.
It's definitely an interesting move that for the third Jurassic, that one of the ideas was like, let's make it a teen slasher kind of movie. I mean, I'm sure it wouldn't have been that gory or bloody, but having it just, I'm kind of glad they didn't go with it too, because it sounds like a bit of a weird way of doing a third Jurassic. But has anything leaked from that? Do we have like a script?
I haven't seen any script pages. As far as I know, it's just the storyboard images from some of the scenes.
There's only one page from the script, and it says, "I know what you Jurassic last summer."
Hey, that's out, right? Or it's out in a
Yeah,
couple of
it
weeks.
is. Yeah,
It came out this week, I'm pretty sure.
yeah.
I
It's. I
think
think
in
it's
Australia it did.
out. Yeah, but
I'm
Yeah.
I'm I'm excited for that. I love the
the
first one.
reviews are pretty good actually. Yeah. So
What's
Nice.
What is it? Just called "I Know What You Did Last Summer," or does it have like "I Still Know What You Did Last Summer"? That was one of the sequels, I think, right?
that.
Yeah, that was the
Yeah.
second one.
No, it's just I know what you did last summer. So
I
yeah.
seriously, I know what you did last summer. I still know.
Yeah. Seriously.
This time.
Seriously, underlined. Yeah, no, I'm keen for that. But yeah, I wonder if it would have played out similarly, like to that. Who knows? Craig Rosenberg has never spoken about it, right?
Not that I can tell. No, I mean, I've like really tried to find contact information for him. I mean, I've like written like physical letters to whoever I can find. Like I think because he worked on The Boys, I think the
Yes.
first few seasons. I don't know
Mm.
if he's still involved with it, but um, I've had no luck at all.
Wow. Yeah. Yeah. Because I saw his IMDb. I was on his Wikipedia, and there wasn't much there. I saw The Boys. I saw a couple other things, but like he hasn't written too much theatrically. Um,
No, I
but it
think he
says
had a new show. I think it's season two. I think like I don't know if Jason Bateman's in it or produced it. I forget what it's called, but he's doing something. He's involved in something, but there's not. I've never seen like a good interview where he's talking about Jurassic or that experience. So I don't know if it's just like a horrible time. I mean, it's interesting that he was the person hired to write the script. You know,
yeah, I read
considering
something
Yeah.
about how it was because Spielberg and the studio had been quite happy with, or Spielberg had been quite happy with some of the stuff he'd written for DreamWorks or something like that at the
yeah,
time. But I don't know what he had written. I'd love to pick his brain a little, because I wonder if, because he's never, did he speak in the visual history book? Was he interviewed for that? Do we
oh,
know?
I don't know. I don't think so.
I don't think so.
Mm.
Um, if there was ever a Jurassic that was tonally similar and as violent as the boys, like that would be fucking awesome.
Yeah, that
So
would be
Yeah,
sick. That would be amazing.
I do wonder then, because the way it was described, I think it was described this way in the visual history, was the teen slasher. And that is like the first time it's been described as. All I remember was Joe's quote about bad episode of Friends. Um, I wonder if the guy James Mottram, we should get James Mottram on the pod, because he's read some of these scripts. He's read some of the ones that aren't out there, as far as I'm aware.
mhm.
Um,
yeah.
so yeah. we should get him. But we don't know too much else about that movie, right? We don't know if Alan Grant was in it. We don't know.
Alan Grant's in the storyboard images. I know there's a scene. It's the river sequence. Um,
Oh,
he's got the kids on the raft. He's got like I think a goatee or a beard and like longer hair.
oh, so
So I
maybe he
mean
was living on the island, kind of thing.
that's possible. Which I mean I know Jack, you say you don't like the idea of Grant living on the island, but I'm all about that.
You
I
are.
feel like he would be the one probably after JP3 wanting to get back to the island. That's just like my I don't know. I feel like it's kind of crazy, but I think it could work. I think he could survive if he finds the right buildings. I mean, on Nublar. I mean, I feel like, well, where did John Hammond live? Did he have some mansion built into like the mountain or something? Like, is there some secure place? I could see Grant getting on there, surviving. If
Hammond's
that's me.
mansion was in the in theory on Isla Sorna, right? In the village. Is that right? It was
Oh,
in
I don't know.
Trespasser. I think it was Hammond's mansion.
Trespasser.
Yeah, yeah. Okay, well, let's talk about that. So Peter Bookman's it's Bookman, right? We said Bookman.
I always call Peter Buckman, but Joe Johnston calls it Peter Bushman.
Bushman. Okay.
Bushman. So I've been
We'll
saying it
defer to
wrong,
Joe.
I guess.
Well, yeah, Peter Bushman. Okay, so we know more about his screenplay. I think there's an early treatment, and then I think there's a second draft, which is much more filled out. Which if anybody wants to learn more about that, go to Dan's podcast. For those who don't know, shame. But Dan is the guy behind the Stuck on Sauna series podcast, which is basically a making of JP3 Pod. And it goes, you interview various people that worked on the movie, and you trying to piece together the production a little bit. You spoke to Shelley Johnson, the cinematographer. You've spoken to loads of people. Did you speak to Bushman?
No, I reached out to him on Facebook, and he did respond. He politely declined, which I'll probably reach out to him again. I don't know. I mean, it sounds like so I interviewed Joe Johnston back in May, and
Yes, come on, it
Joe,
happened. The king.
yeah, Joe
Yes.
was great,
The
and
Don.
he mentioned Peter Bushman, how he really liked working with Peter Bushman, but how they like basically like fired him, you know, and then brought him back. So it's like I don't know what kind of relationship Peter has with Jurassic at this point, or if it's just a terrible experience. But it sounds like, he was hired to write the script. They toss it out. They get Alexander Payne and Jim Taylor, and then during filming, they're like, "We need Peter Bushman back." He comes back, and he's writing like on the set. So I have not been able to talk to Peter. I would love to. Um, I've made contact, which is good. Same with John August, who's I think he has a credit on one of the drafts.
Yes.
Um,
Yeah.
and he was very polite also, but basically said, "I'll only talk if you can get one of the other main writers to talk to." He doesn't want to be the only person like speaking on behalf of writing JP3.
Wow.
So
Okay.
that's where that is right now.
So
But
you just got to try and get Alexander Payne. No biggie there. No
oh,
trouble.
Alexander Payne, he his
Yeah.
last movie, was it The Holdovers?
Mm-hmm.
The
Okay,
holdovers.
so
Yeah.
yeah, a year ago it was playing. They had a local like art house theater, and he was there doing a Q&A, and it was on a Sunday when my wife works, and I had my son, and I think my mom was supposed to be able to watch him, but she couldn't, and I'm like,
Oh my
oh my gosh,
god.
I'm like, we're going either way. So like we waited in the lobby while the film played, and I'm like, if I can just like catch Alexander Payne in or out, like I just got to ask him about Jurassic Park 3. And we walked in for the Q&A, and I gave my son, who was like 1 at the time, gave him a bottle of milk. I'm like, just let's be nice and quiet, listen to Alexander Payne talk. And it was going well. Like I was waiting in line to ask a question, but then it just got kind of, he was losing it, so I had to leave. But
Oh.
I saw the guy, and I'm like, nobody else is going to ask about Jurassic Park 3. Nobody in this audience probably knows he wrote Jurassic Park 3.
Yeah.
So I was like, I'm ready to ask the question, but I just didn't get to it. So
So
I'm
you're
still
gonna.
trying to reach
Alexander
out to him.
Payne is such an interesting part of that whole thing for me, just because of
Oh yeah.
the stuff he writes and the way he writes. Like, the
Yeah.
Holdovers is such like a human drama, and it's like, oh, okay, I see that in Jurassic Park 3 now. So
he's
Yeah.
really great with character. Like, I mean, most great screenwriters are, but Sideways, The Descendants, things like that. They're such unique movies, and the way they handle the human characters. And knowing that he wrote, he probably wrote the Kirby's, right? He really, him and Jim Taylor. I'm pretty sure they speak about how they, even though a lot of it got cut, they wrote a lot of the kind of comedy elements. They wrote a lot of the humor, the family. Um, which I find really interesting because obviously the Bushman draft um, is so. I mean, let's talk about the differences there because you said you were a fan of the idea of Grant living on the island by himself. I'm not a fan of that, but post JP3, I can see that happening after what happens to him in Jurassic Park 3. I can understand he would then maybe want to go and study them because that whole aspect of JP3 where at start he doesn't consider them dinosaurs. By the end of the movie, they are dinosaurs, and it was fascinating watching them communicate. Um, I kind of understand maybe after that he would want to study them, but the main difference in the Bushman script is that Grant's already wanting to go on the island and study it. He loves the idea of those dinosaurs. He's like, we need to open up Isla Sorna, and the changes that they made to the JP3 we know is the complete reversal of that, where Grant isn't trying to get accepted to be able to go study there. He's obviously there's that scene where he's talking about real science, real discoveries are made in the bones in the ground, basically. Um, and I feel it's much more grounded. I feel like after the first movie, after what happened in San Diego, that's how he would be because he saw death, he saw destruction. He knows that it might be, the public are now aware of it. So I feel like he would almost put himself forward as like, we shouldn't, think they're so great. Um, but there are so many elements in that Bushman script that I'm sad that we didn't get right. So the political thriller kind of aspects. You know, Jaden, do you know much about the script?
A bit here and there, like since joining Jurassic Outpost and stuff like that, and then you know getting to meet everyone in the community and stuff. It's been like a massive wild ride of catching up on all these scripts and things like that. I think now, like since joining, like even with the music side of like Jurassic because of Caleb, I pick up on a lot of things as well and stuff like that. So it's been fun learning, but I wouldn't say I'm like an expert or know much, but I'm getting there. So
Okay,
I'm
well,
more
you
learned with
should
you guys.
100% go and listen to the episode of Dan's podcast. You do a whole
Yeah.
read through, right, Dan?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's episode 7. Read through, and it's basically based on the Peter Bushman. It was like a 49-page like treatment script, which then became the next draft. I think that's out now. I think someone shared it. It's like I estimate it's probably from like June or July 2000, where it's the same treatment but like 4 pages, 100 pages, something along like that.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
Yeah, so your read through
yeah,
is of the 40-page one, did you say?
yeah, the 49-page one is one that I read through, and it still worked out to like I think 95 minutes just from like reading and like recreating, which is pretty. I was kind of surprised by that.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but yeah, I mean, there's a lot in that
That's
script that I do love.
that's the one that I was Grant for, correct?
Oh yeah,
Okay, yeah.
you did very well. I really appreciate it. I mean,
That was
that's
that was fun. Like it was like I think you and I talked about it a little bit, but like the idea was just sort of like a gruff sort of Grant.
yeah.
So it was really fun.
Oh no, you were so professional. Going into it, I'm just at first I'm like, I'll just read the script. I'm like, oh, I should get some characters, and then in the end, like I had to play Paul Kirby too because someone fell through. But like, you were above, way beyond. I mean, you were professional, and I love your take on Alan Grant.
It was I don't know. That's a character that I can jump into quickly.
Yeah,
So and like just him in that place like 2 movies later basically like it was a cool thing for sure.
yeah. Well, I appreciate you helping me on that one.
Who
A lot
else
of
did you
fun.
have? You had some good voices in there.
Um, I had Luke Ferris, who's got podcast Jurassic Pod and also Least
Yeah.
Important Things. He's the one in the video that talks about Jurassic Park 3 aging like a fine wine. I don't.
Yes, that's
Yeah,
right.
yeah.
I love
Yeah.
Luke. I'm trying to think who else. I I had Brady, who had the Jurassic Minute podcast. Um, and then between like my wife and my cousin and my cousin's husband, I mean, he's like, my age. He was playing 12-year-old uh, Miles, and I'm like, just sound like a 12-year-old. I don't know any 12-year-olds.
Channel your inner 12-year-old,
Yeah,
please.
no, a
um,
lot of people participated, and very happy with how it turned out. Better than I expected. It was much more of a project than I was expecting. It was like, okay, I'll add some music. Okay, add some sound effects. All right, just keeps like going up and up, and just it took me so long, but it was a
no,
lot of
it was
fun.
great. I had a half-hour drive just before, and I put it on first half hour, and it's amazing how much of the movie, even though it's so different, how much of the final JP3 we got does match up. So you using like obviously the plane attack scene and stuff, and you using
Yeah,
sounds from the movie where that happens. You hear Amanda scream, and you're like, yeah, that's what's her name? Is it Shannon in that draft? Is it Shannon or someone?
Susan. I
Susan,
think
that's it.
Susan.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Susan. Yeah. Yeah, I love it. But let's talk about some of the main differences. So obviously the sort of setup is similar. Wealthy entrepreneur. I mean, he actually is a wealthy entrepreneur. It's his plane. It's not. You've got Udesky, and I think is Cooper the bodyguard, or is that not in this draft?
I think for sure it's in the longer version of this draft. Oh,
There's no Nash. No Nash.
no Nash. Oh man, that's a good question. Yeah, I don't. Someone's gonna correct us, I'm sure, but I don't think Cooper's in it. If he is, I don't think he has any dialogue. At least I didn't have a character play him. But
Yeah.
I do know in this, like the longer version of Peter Bushman's like next script, Cooper is in it, and I feel like there's like bonding moments between Cooper and Miles or Eric.
Yeah, that's right.
Mm.
I
Yeah,
love the scene on the plane because it's an extended. There's a whole extended scene where they're on the plane flying because he's dropping Grant to San Jose with. It's not Billy, is it? Is it another name?
no,
Uh,
it's Billy Hume.
Billy Hume. That's right. Yeah,
Yeah,
not Billy Brennan, Mr. Brennan. Um, but there's like an extended scene where Miles is asking him to name all the dinosaur species,
yeah,
and then names the Spinosaurus, and then that's when Paul Kirby, what becomes Paul Kirby, jumps in. He's like, Miles, shut up, enough now, enough. And Grant's like, bigger. Spino would have been
yeah.
bigger.
No, there's some good moments. I mean, that's what's so incredible that they tossed the script out because I don't think it was that bad. Like I
No,
really like a lot of it. So that was a pretty wild decision to just say we're tossing this out and making it so simple because there are some great, yeah, even on the plane, like the bonding with Miles and Grant and having Paul Kirby be the father who can't connect with his son anymore because the mother died. Like there's a lot of emotional like weight and a lot of potential in that
yeah,
storyline. They just kind of tossed out.
it is, and I much prefer the setup. How we're already learning. Excuse me, sorry. We're already learning more about the world and how much they know of these islands, and you learn it's more like political in the sense that you have the US government and the Costa Rican government trying to, like, Costa Rican government have, I guess, ownership, like security. They're watching that island, and the US wants it, right? What's his name, the guy, I should have pulled up the script, the guy who's like the American investigator who deals with Grant trying to, I'll give you
Oh
this.
man.
What's his name? Anyway, I love those aspects of it and the sort of way they get to the island. But it is kind of similar. Like they did morph it pretty well into what we ended up getting because it's a similar thing. It's a tour of the island. Let's fly as low as we can and let's But it's just I think it's a stronger setup. Um, and then I only got about as far as so they crash land in. Is it like they crash land in a field as opposed to an actual landing strip? It's more of like a
Right.
valley.
Yeah. Udesky, I think, is trying to fly low, clips a branch,
Yeah,
and
that's
just
right.
lands in a field. And then they're, trying to clear the field to, use it as a runway. And I think that's when the Spino
Yeah,
You
I
know,
think what
same
they
thing kind
hear
of
the
happens.
roar, they hear a second roar, and they're like, okay, I pulled the last branch, let's get back on the plane. And as they're trying to take off, all the herbivores start running and like surrounding the plane, so they're trying to take off. Udesky floors it, and then the Spinosaurus comes out, and the same thing happens. They hit the Spino,
Right.
blood on the windshield, and then it crashes into the trees. Just, I mean, they still pulled that off. I love that scene in the movie.
Oh yeah. No, the plane crash. I mean, I love that whole the sounds between like the branches hitting the windshield of the plane and the wings and like Amanda Kirby screaming, like just cutting so quickly. No, I love it so much.
It is.
It's grown on me. The only thing I don't like is that one shot of the Spino in JP3 where like it looks way too robotic, where it's like roaring at the camera. But everything else, I
Yeah.
mean,
The shot through
brilliant.
the plane, kind of, isn't it? And it just kind of, is it after it's taken the cockpit? And it yeah, it's like the
Yeah,
whole
before
body of
the
the Spino is motionless and just the head
yeah,
is moving, and you're like, it's not quite
just
there.
an awkward shot.
Yeah, it's a little awkward, but they make up for it with the Spino T-Rex battle. It's like the best
Oh yeah.
dino battle in the franchise, I think.
Yeah, yeah. Say that again. Yeah,
It is. So
I'll
it's so raw and like there's no
oh yeah.
music over it. Just it's brutal, and you feel the
yeah.
weight of these dinosaurs. Trees flying across the screen.
The scale, like it was just the
Yeah.
scale of it. Like it was just that. Like it was. It's the best thing to touch cinema. Like that was like real, like Jurassic. Like that was like I don't know when I like as a kid. When you think of dinosaur fights, that is like perfection,
Yeah,
down to the
I'll
last minute detail.
I'll never forget one time I was watching JP3 with a friend, and like they walked in for the plane crash scene, and they were like, "Oh, that so like the movie's over? That must be the end." And I was like, "No, this is the beginning."
Yeah.
um, so like that's because like Jurassic Park up to that point, like the end, you're flying off in a plane or whatever. Like so, it's a good turning that whole thing on its head, for sure.
yeah. And I think Dan the other day you shared an interview with it was like a promo video for I always forget his name, the actor who played Eric,
Oh, Trevor Morgan.
Trevor Morgan.
Yeah.
And he was saying, the first two Jurassics, you always have that scene of awe and, oh, wow, look at these herbivores. And he's like, not this one. He's like, it's straight into the carnivores. And it's true. You don't get that admiration of like calm herbivore, like, wow, look at this, until they're on the river.
Mm.
Yeah.
Like, it's all just like brutal dinosaur torture scenes. And then finally, that's after Billy has supposedly died, they have that really nice, the sort of like conversation, the astronauts, the astronomers, and then you finally have that like scene, like, wow, look at these majestic creatures. um and at least it's got that going for it. That did that differently. Didn't try. I feel like that's always been something the world era has struggled with, because it's always tried to do when we get to the island, there has to be this big scene of awe and wow and wonder. And I think like the audience is kind of past that too. JP3 knew it back then. It was like, nah, we'll save that scene. It shouldn't come first. Um, okay, let's talk more about that Bookman draft. So I didn't listen past that. I've listened to it before, but today I didn't. After they crash the plane, it does pivot quite a bit from the JP3 we got, right?
Yeah, because I'm trying to think. Yeah, I mean, I think the main thing is, I mean, one, when you have Miles, he's not trapped on the island, so he's with him the whole time. And I think I'm trying to think what the next action scene is going forward. Um, but I mean, eventually they do make it to the embryonics lab. And that's like, I think it's pretty close to the halfway point,
Does
probably. But
is the river sequence before that in this version?
well, the river sequence would be right. I think the third act, because that's before the bombing of the island.
Oh, right. Okay.
Mm.
Yeah.
Yeah. So the river sequence is a little bit. Well, it's a lot different actually than the final thing. I mean, Peter Bushman, like he was. I mean, he was swinging for the fences for sure with the third act of this draft. And I mean, the river sequence, stampede, bombing the island.
Yeah, that's the stuff I didn't. I mean, I'm sure it would work. I need to read that script again, the 100 whatever page one. But the bombing of the island is always something I'll never get behind. I know it's from the novels and stuff, but leave him alone. Is my view.
Oh yeah, it's tough to watch. I mean, I would if they filmed it, I would probably skip it over. Like I skip over some of the Lost World, when uh, they're wrangling the dinosaurs. Like I just I don't know why it's like I can't watch this. Like I don't want to see that. So
It's brutal, isn't it? It's like, yeah,
Eddie Carr's facial expression reaction is like that's the correct reaction.
his proper frown. Yeah, but that I'd love to one day, hopefully Craig Rosenberg, Peter Bushman, hopefully they do speak about JP3. Imagine if there was like a round table with them all, even
that
Alexander Payne, Jim Taylor, John August, get them all in and be like, so what did you write for this movie? What did you write for this movie?
I mean that would be
25th
amazing.
anniversary next year. It should happen.
Yeah, God, I hope so. That would be great. Um, but yeah, so a project that Dan and I, Outpost guys, have been working on the past couple of weeks is we put out a note. Everybody, if you like JP3, submit a video, 30-second video, telling us why you loved it, what it means to you, that kind of thing. And we had some fantastic responses. We had over 30 minutes of video come through of people talking about why they love this movie. So thank you to everybody that submitted it. And Dan, what was the kind of purpose of that video? I'll let you.
Yeah, so I mean my thought on it was I had interviewed Joe Johnston back in May, and from talking to him, it seemed kind of clear that not many people approach him or talk to him about JP3. There's not much conversation around it, and from what he's heard, it's not been well received. You know, as far as Jurassic Park movies, and I get that, like the way that the critics kind of treated it upon its release, and maybe even like the 14-year gap between films after that, there's a lot of negativity around it, and that's kind of like how he felt. He didn't like say it that same way, but it felt like, oh, he does not get that there are a lot of fans out there that still really love Jurassic Park 3. And people like I'm 37, people in their 30s, maybe that was the first Jurassic Park movie they saw in theaters. And I have so many memories attached with counting down the days and Dan's JP3 page, checking rumors. Like that was my life, such a big part of it.
Yes.
That the movie, just watching it, it's more than a movie. It's like a feeling. Like I'm
Mhm.
transported back to, being 12, 13 years old again. So it's always going to mean more than any other movie. But there's a lot of people that feel the same way. Um, so I mean, reaching out to fans and saying, tell why do you love Jurassic Park 3? What's it mean to you? When did you first see it? What's your favorite scene? Anything like that. And then, so we can share it with, some of the cast and crew, mostly sending it to Joe Johnston to say like, hey, these fans, these people, like we love Jurassic Park 3.
Yeah, yeah.
Like that to me was like the ultimate, goal. Like just, I mean, because Joe Johnston's not in the spotlight too much. I mean, most of the time, a lot of it's about Star Wars. His impact on Star Wars is huge with his design work, and I mean, just it's incredible. His impact on film is huge, and a lot of it is Star Wars. So a lot of people probably talk to him about Star Wars, and Jurassic Park 3 is kind of a little bit off to the side. So
Yeah.
yeah, I think just highlighting that there are people out there that love the film and just getting the word out.
I mean, he said to you that he hasn't watched it since the premiere, right?
That's so yeah, and that was interesting. That's what he had said. But there is the JP Visual History book where he talks about having watched it like in 2020.
Oh, okay.
I'm pretty
Maybe
sure.
during COVID, he was like, maybe I should.
Right. So I don't know. I don't know. Who knows what's true? But I mean, at the very least, he has not been watching it very often in the past 25 years. He saw it at the premiere. Um, but I mean, so when I was like asking him questions, it was kind of like he recalled quite a bit. But when I was talking about like the blend of animatronics and CGI with the Raptors, how it's aged very well, it still holds up, especially with how they shot the Jurassic World films. Like they did a great job. So some of that, I know he mentioned like wanting to revisit the film and look at it with a new light, basically. So hopefully he does.
I hope so.
Mm-hmm.
And so we put this video together, and the intention was to. It is now. By the time you're listening to this podcast, the video is public, so you can watch yourself. You can watch all these fans talk about it. But Joe saw the video.
Yeah, I was when I sent it to him. I mean, I was like, am I just annoying this guy? Because I reached out like a couple extra times, like real quick questions, like I think it's Jack, you and I were talking about the JP3 title, like Extinction or Breakout. Like, was that
Yes.
seriously considered? And his response, it was kind of like, I should pull it up, but it wasn't a very clear. Like, he didn't recall much about like either being like seriously considered. But anyways, like reaching out to him again, like, hey Joe, here's a video. It's 24 minutes long if you want to watch it. In better words, but just thanking him for his work on the film. I wasn't sure if he was gonna respond at all or watch it, but he did write back and he did watch it. And it
And it
seemed
was,
like it made an impact.
yeah.
Yeah.
It was a lovely little message back, wasn't it? And I really do hope that whatever his views of the movie are, in a way, I don't want to put words in his mouth, but it has felt like some of the way he talks about it, like it's been almost been a weight on his shoulders, thinking that this movie was so hated. And I get it. Yeah, some people hate the movie, that's fine, but it's really not that bad. And I hate to think that he's lived 24 years thinking, wow, I made the worst one, because oh boy, you did not.
Yeah. Yeah, no, the email he wrote, yeah, basically just that he felt like people hated the movie. And he was, basically very surprised and thankful. I think he said, I'm reading right now, please tell all your fan friends I very much appreciate their kind words. And I'm so glad that JP3 holds a special place in their childhoods. And then he said he was going to forward the video on to Shelley Johnson and Larry Franco and
The other legends
Jack
behind this
Horner.
movie.
Yeah.
It's so awesome. That's so great.
It's amazing. Yeah.
It made my Saturday morning. I was like, wow, this is so cool.
Oh yeah, it exceeded my expectations. I mean, I really wasn't sure if he was going to even respond to it. I mean, clearly he watched it, or at least some of it, and it meant a
Yeah.
lot. So
It's great that. So again, everybody that submitted a video, thank you so much for doing that, because it's, you know, it's just nice. It's nice to put that kind of thing together and talk about why people love it. And everybody's stories were so funny and interesting, and it was great to just listen to fans, really speak their heart about why they love it. And it's funny how many people were like, it's like the perfect length Jurassic. It's like so great getting in.
yeah,
You just in and out, love it. And it's so true. Yeah.
What was that magazine that was it like Forbes or New York Times that said like the runtime for Jurassic Park 3 is the perfect movie time?
I have that here. It was actually The Guardian.
Yeah,
And
it was a really credible like
92
magazine thing.
minutes is the optimum length for a film. That's what it says.
It's true. It's true.
And how long is Jurassic Park 3?
yeah.
We're testing your Jurassic Park 3 knowledge. What's the exact length?
Yeah.
Is it 93? I think
it's
the credits
actually
are like
92 with credits.
92.
But
Because isn't it like something before the credits start? It's only like 84, 85 minutes or something like that. It's like it's short.
It's a thrill ride.
It is.
And I didn't watch all of it. I fell asleep. It was very late when I started, but I watched and that's not an indication on quality, guys. I just have poor sleep management. Okay, so no, I was watching it and I was like, shit, how far am I? I feel like this movie is flying along. It really does fly along, but in such a way that you're like, oh god, I'm having so much fun. Like, it's just great. Yeah, I think that I was reading on the Wikipedia page. No idea how legitimate the information is, but I think the first draft of the movie we got was 96 minutes without credits. So
Oh wow.
the movie with credits 92 or 93. I think it's 92. I really, really, really want to see that missing. So what do you say it was like 84 without before the credits roll?
I could be wrong. It's something like 84, 85.
So
It's
it's like over 10 minutes of footage
5 to 10, yeah, sounds like, yeah.
of
yeah.
stuff that we haven't seen, and I'm sure a lot of it is just like Kirby banter and stuff. But yeah, I kind of want to see, like, put that back in.
Oh, I would love to see it. I don't think we ever will. I mean, from talking to Joe, there's like nothing major in his mind. Same with Shelley. I don't think Shelley mentioned much. And the editor, Robert Dalva, he had said their take was if it's not good enough to be in the film, it's not good enough to like include as like a deleted scene on it on the special features. Like they don't want it to be included at all. Um, but who knows? It could be out there somewhere. I mean,
I mean, they always talk about that universal fire, don't they? The warehouse fire where all the original negatives got burnt. But I like to think that Amblin have some deep underground facility where they're storing all their stuff. you know, maybe there's something at Groom Lake, Area 51. They've got like a little Jurassic vault down there. I'd like, I'd like to think that one day Universal, like, how can we milk this franchise more? Let's go in the archives and find the extended cuts and do Jurassic extended, Lost World
Yes.
extended, JP3 extended. Because why the hell not, right? They milk everything.
Yes,
The
please.
Hollywood milks everything. Why wouldn't they release, like, imagine if they dropped a Blu-ray of like the Lost World with those 2 deleted scenes put back in, but in 4K. Every fan would buy
oh,
that.
they really need to do that.
Yes.
I don't know why. That's shocking they haven't.
Yeah, it's funny. I think it was Jay Malone was telling me, or Alex was telling me, someone was telling me that those 2 deleted scenes, it was part of a network deal for like syndication on TV. There was some channel that got the rights
And it still
to
gets shown on TV with those scenes in it.
with
Yeah.
those
So
extended scenes, yeah, and it's like some deal. So they have it. It exists. It exists in a film reel somewhere. So 4K.
release the AJ cut. Release it.
Yeah, the RJ cut and the Ludlow cut.
Yeah.
Now,
More of Ludlow.
correct me if I'm wrong. That the boardroom scene in the Lost World, you have like a character yawning, right?
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, but you have was it going from the girl screaming to the
It was
boardroom?
Yeah.
so I think, yeah, it was supposed to go from there was the transition was there originally or something, but yeah.
So,
Yeah.
but
Somebody
th-
put the
did they
scene
plan on
together.
possibly cutting it then? I mean, because right now with Malcolm like yawning, it's like the perfect transition.
Yeah, and
It's
Like,
the
were they
everybody
best
talks
anticipating
about the
possibly cutting
transition.
it?
the
Yeah.
best match cut in cinema history.
Yeah.
Yes, correct.
Yeah, Spielberg, the match cut master. But yeah, somebody put together a little clip where you can watch the beach scene as it transitions to the yawn in the boardroom, and it does. I do wonder, like, so when was there going to be a second yawn or a
Right? Isn't
second
that weird?
scream to
Mm-hmm.
give Malcolm there, or was that Malcolm shot super last minute? Like, did they add that in, before he gets on the train in the Lost World?
It's very interesting. I think
Mm-hmm.
I remember hearing an interview. Um, I think it was like Jurassic Cast. Maybe they interviewed the guy on the subway car who talks to Malcolm. Like, it's you, right?
Yeah,
That
yeah,
guy.
yeah.
Yeah.
You're him,
And I
right?
think remember him hearing him say that he thought he would meet Spielberg that day, but Spielberg was not on location because his wife was giving birth. So I don't know who was
Oh,
like
wow.
directing that whole sequence, but
Oh,
They
interesting.
shot. They shot that. I mean, there's probably some of it that wasn't shot there, but they shot a lot of that train stuff in Brooklyn, New York, somewhere. So
Wow.
I wouldn't be surprised if Spielberg wasn't on set that
yeah,
day because it was probably just like a 1 or 2 day thing. But yeah,
right.
Maybe Cap didn't Cap do some second unit on
Kep
Lost
was
World?
second unit director, baby.
There you go. Maybe he killed himself. Killed himself. He's like, I'm going to be the guy. Let me in.
High
Kep.
on
I mean,
Quapium.
we're going off on the Lost World instead of JP3, but like Kep also directed the like boat unload scene with the boat captain
Yeah.
and and all that. So
Oh wow. Okay, that's
Oh,
right. Yeah,
that
because
scene
that was
frustrates me
also
so much, though.
that was last minute, right? That was they wrote that
Kep wrote that like the day before, or the day of. Yeah,
because they couldn't beach the boat, right?
yeah. That's why they don't. That's why there's no like real beach unload scene. But yeah,
I hate that there's not some unloading scene. That's it's something so simple I want to see. Like they cut
Yeah.
from the boat and they're just flying across the field in an RV,
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
full speed. I'm like, I want to see the abandoned roads. Like, where are they traveling? What's going on here? Like, there's
Oh,
so much.
dude. Yeah, tell me about it, man. That's from like the way it works in the film. It flows, it works, but I like as the nerd fans we are, I want to see like let's reattach. Let's get the trailers connected. Let's hook them up. Like
Yep,
the stuff that wouldn't make the final cut. I want to see that.
that's
I
true.
want to see the offloading. Oh god. But that's the thing. I feel like one day maybe Universal will release the Spielberg cut. Release the what would you call it? Just the extended cut,
you
I
call
guess.
it the. I mean, you can call it the boardroom cut. You can call it the the bar fight cut.
The it's a shame Alex isn't here because he discovered that when he got some cool sheets and things like that for the Lost World, he discovered that there was a scene. Not sure if it was filmed or not, but where when Malcolm arrives at Hammond's mansion, he either kicks a dog or trips over a dog
Oh yeah.
at the mansion. They even had like dog handlers on set, and nobody knew about this. So I really wish one day they dig into the archive and they pull up all the material, all of the conversations that were thrown out, all of the scenes where they were cutting the gas pipelines for the InGen, the hunters camp, and put it all together because I feel like with how big the world franchise has become, the audience is clearly there. Look at Rebirth, like even regardless of what you think of that movie, the audience is showing up. If they just were like, "Oh, we're going to re-release the original movies but extended with pointless additional scenes that no one really cares about," people would show up. I feel like why wouldn't they?
Hmm.
What have they got to lose at this point except Spielberg's integrity as this was my final cut, like
More Paul Kirby. I'm buying a ticket
that's
immediately.
Oh yeah.
that's it. Like 5 to 10 minutes of additional JP3 that we haven't seen. Let us see it. What was there? What was it? Just a couple of extra lines? Was it lore building? Was it like
I,
his
honestly, I
grandson?
think it's probably a lot of Paul Kirby improvising, talking about like fishing and stuff like that. I mean,
Yeah,
I would enjoy it, but
give
I'm
me that.
guessing they did a lot of improv, like just improvising lines, and
Yeah,
who
they
knows what
def
he was talking about.
yeah they definitely always spoke about like Paul Kirby. We'll just call him Paul Kirby. Paul Kirby wrote a page of the script that they filmed.
Right.
Everybody kind of chipped in. Yeah, it would be great to see some of that expanded material. I do wonder if it's still like surely it exists somewhere like, on an original reel, regardless of that Universal fire. Surely it does exist, or else that's pretty sad if it doesn't.
I would think it exists somewhere. Yeah, like they had more than one extra copy, surely. But
Oh yeah.
That's what
yeah,
I always wonder. Like that fire, remember reading the fire was in like 2008 or something, right? So
yeah,
they said it took out a lot, but surely like if if I've said this before, I swear on a podcast, but if I was Steven Spielberg in that position and Amblin Entertainment and all that, I would have like a second warehouse with all my original negative. Maybe that's just me as like like oh, I want to archive everything. I want to make sure I never lose everything. But I would feel like Jurassic Park, The Lost World, it'd be things you would have stored away in various different places. But then I don't know. Maybe they just don't view it the same way. I would love to see.
yeah, yeah.
I would
Um,
say they don't view it the same way as us, but that's just me being,
as crazy
seeing what
fans
we get.
shaped by these movies, yeah, probably not really, but
Yeah, I mean, you guys who are much bigger fans of Jurassic Park 3 than I am, you guys don't have it anywhere? Like, nowhere?
Yeah, I got it in the shed at the back.
I know that obviously the work that I won't say names just in case it gets anybody in trouble, but the work that certain people have done in restoring like 35mm cuts of the movies and open matte copies. You know, for anybody that doesn't know, like I see a bit of dialogue on Twitter about like, what's an open matte? Why would you want to watch the movie that way? And I get it. It is more for nerds and fan and film enthusiasts and people that love that aesthetic of film. But you know, a lot of movies were shot open matte, which is like a big square image. The whole sensor of the camera was, or cell of the film, sorry, should I say, was filmed on, and then the film is matted for final release, and like VFX shots are matted, so like in the cropped 185:1 or whichever aspect ratio they chose. But some of these final reels were sent out without that matting on top of them. So Jurassic Park and JP3 are two examples of films where there are cuts that exist, which are just, it opens the frame up vertically, top and bottom. So you see boom mics, you see stuff that's not meant to be there, but for the most part, you just get a much wider shot of the movie, like much taller shot of Paul Kirby, and it is a great way to watch the movie for fans. You see like the original film reel, you see what it supposedly originally looked like when it was projected, but you get slightly more of the movie. You get slightly more top and bottom. You see more of the island. You see more of the props of the sets, and it's just a great way to watch it. But they exist because certain cinema chains, certain film collectors, all these reels that used to get sent, now most of the time it's all digital, but all these reels that get sent out to theaters to project a movie, sometimes people kept them, and sometimes private collectors were like, I'm having that, I'm having JP3, I'm having Jurassic Park. And after all these years, they've cut, like I downloaded The Shining the other day. I got The Shining open matte, so like seeing that movie in this whole new, like basically 4:3, because there's not a lot of VFX in that. I don't think there's any shots in that that are matted. You just like it's a new way to watch the movie. But I wonder, my whole point of me elongating this shit is that I wonder if that like any extended cuts of the movies, any original reel of JP3 one day will like pop up, you know, like, oh, this a 96-minute cut of JP3, and it just rocks up on eBay or something. How sick would that be?
And
I
it's
It's
just
hard to
Paul
imagine.
Kirby showing off
yeah,
his swimming body. Give me what I want, Universal.
something the Spinosaurus comes in and eats the Ceratosaurus was the original ending of that scene.
You know what? Actually, maybe we should ask ILM if there's any shots, any like VFX shots that didn't make JP3. Like, it makes you wonder. All right, but let's talk about Rebirth.
Hell yeah.
So before, so
Musical transition.
yeah, music here goes here. Before we started recording, Caleb, you made an interesting point that you think Rebirth is, there are elements that are very similar to Jurassic Park 3.
Yeah.
It's a love letter.
It's and I have felt that way on multiple watches of the movie. Just there's some tonal moments that feel JP3 just while we've been talking during this podcast. And y'all were talking about how, like, you know, Alan Grant and Ian Malcolm maybe, you know, exhibit some symptoms of PTSD and how that it can affect like relationships and romantic relationships. Like, I mean, Duncan and his partner in Rebirth talk about how like it seems it's not expanded as much as maybe it could have been, but like that he talks about how like him and his partner don't want to be together anymore, not because of really anything between them, but there was something traumatic that happened to their child, etc. And like just like seeing each other reminds them of that. So it's better for them to not be together. And so like that feels like Alan and Ellie a bit, like they had a traumatic experience together. If it feels to me like Duncan's experience and whatever happened to their child like has something to do with dinosaurs. It feels like that to me. So like I don't know, there's similarities there. This also, you know, there was a rushed production on this movie. So like that feels kind of similar. Spinosaurus, obviously, like that's a JP3 similarity. So I don't know. It's also like, this movie does have moments. Rebirth does have moments that feel like very action movie slick, and to me, JP3 has moments that feel very action movie slick. And so yeah, and to be clear, like the JP3 similarities are all good things in my book. Like throw that into more Jurassic movies, but yeah.
Yeah, you definitely make a good point. They didn't throw their script, 5 weeks before filming, but it was a very rushed production. Dan, where do you stand with Rebirth? How many times have you seen it?
I've only seen it once,
Okay.
which is
Huh.
I'm not happy about.
Yeah, you
It
should see
is
it more.
like I I wanted to see it like the next day. Then you got it's July 4th, and it's
Mm.
like holiday and back to work, and
Yeah.
I haven't seen it again. But so the first viewing, I'm still a little bit conflicted, but there's a lot that I do like.
Okay.
I think what I do like, yes, I agree, a lot of JP3 similarities, and I feel like this could have been what David Kep would have written essentially
Mm.
if he had more time back in 2000. I mean, somehow work in Grant or something, but like this whole story, the family crashing, the boat crash, like there's so much there that's very similar. Um,
Yeah.
but I always got to be kind about
It's a
Jurassic movies.
it's a
I
safe space. It's okay.
Yeah, it's a safe space.
Yeah,
Is
yeah.
it? Is it safe? Yeah. No, it's not. Um, it's better. It's better than the previous three Jurassic World films. Like
Okay.
to
Yeah.
me, by far. Like I know if I'm gonna go watch a Jurassic World film out of the last four, it'd be Rebirth. I think it's very watchable. Some incredible action. I love the gas station scene when the song comes on. Like
Yeah.
I don't know why. Like I'm like, oh, this is a cool. Like watching it, I'm thinking this is a cool moment. Like it's something like very simple, but I'm like, I love like I could picture this being in Jurassic Park 3, like the character stumbling upon something like, oh wow, we're in trouble now. The lights are on, there's music. That was like a very clearly well made moment. But there were some things that like messed me up like as a fan where I was like, oh, that really let me down. And I think the Raptors
Mm.
like pretty much broke my heart like mid movie when I saw like the Raptors out of focus in the dark, and then they get killed, and I'm like, okay, that's fine. There's still other Raptors out there because the trailer said they mentioned Raptors in the first trailer. I'm like,
Mm.
they're gonna show up at some point. This is great, and I kept waiting and waiting, and then the movie ends, and I'm like, oh man, I just got like I was duped. Like, as a
Yeah.
fan,
We
I've
got
waited so
cocked.
long to see tough Raptors again. Even if they kill off the Raptors, like it's what a great moment that would be if these Raptors show up at the gas station and it's like, oh man, these guys are in trouble. And then the Raptors get killed by the mutadons, or you want to call them. Like they're
Hmm.
like, oh my gosh, there's something worse than the Raptors. Like that like elevates everything. But the way they did it while having a character urinate on the audience, I was just like, man, it was like this is just feels really weird. Like they're like, I don't know. I mean, it felt like a I don't know, like slapping fans in the face kind of thing. Like, oh, you wanted the Raptors? Oh, too
Piss
bad.
on the
Like,
fans.
I agree. Like there should have been more raptors. I actually have a question because like the mutadon in that scene, the mutadon flies off with one raptor. Do we think the other raptor survived, or do we think it's just dead on the ground?
I assume it survived. That's why
Yeah, I
I kept
assume it
waiting
ran
for it to
off.
Right.
show up.
Yeah.
Yeah, because
Um.
like
And
I
so
thought that as
like
well.
I wish there's the moment in the trailer with, please don't say they're raptors. They're raptors. Like I feel like they
Yeah,
cut that out of the gas station scene, and that makes me sad. But yeah.
yeah.
Like
But
I get it, like the whole raptor thing, like killing it off because like they want to do the JP3, the new big bad.
yeah,
But
Right.
it wasn't
There's
like
a JP3 similarity. Yeah.
yeah. Oh, even like
They
pissing.
didn't even put up a fight though. I think
Yeah,
that's
like
what was missing is that the T
True.
Rex at least gave it some.
yeah.
T Rex grabbed the Spino, threw it around a bit. It put up a fair fight. Raptors just got bombed, and I agree with Dan. You put it in that perspective for me, but it is like Xavier. He's taking a
Yeah.
piss. He's pissing on the audience,
Yeah,
and
no, when you
they're
said
pissing on
that,
the
I was
fans.
like, yeah, like, and then now it just it stuck with me. Like, yeah, that's a piss on the fans. Like, it is the whole thing of like Jurassic World Raptors. They want to get away from it, of like how they're like the buddy cop and shit like that, and then they want to do this new serious thing with the Mutants. Yeah, it's a piss on the fans, but it's like not as in like an. If you want to take that as an insult, then yeah, but like I can see why they did it, but yeah, it still rubs me off the wrong way.
So, speaking of Xavier, I just wanted to say that Dan brings up a great JP3 similarity point, which is the family, the whole family element of the whole thing. And I just also have to say that the family's theme in the music of Rebirth is extremely similar to the JP3 family theme
Okay.
in the score, which is awesome. I don't know if it was intentional, but maybe it was. But like, it's near it's near identical. Like, it's not identical, but it's very, very, very close musically, which is a cool thing. So yeah.
Yeah.
Alexandre Desplat is a JP3 fan. You heard it here.
Well,
Confirmed.
like, if it was intentional, I'm like, great. Like, who made this call? They're obviously like a big fan. So yeah.
Yeah. I don't know what grade I would give the film because I do like it better than the previous three. I want to see it again. I just know how I felt when the movie ended. And when you're with a group of people and like they know you're like a diehard Jurassic fan, you want to be like, oh man, that was the best thing ever. And we're like, oh, high fiving. But it was kind of like, yeah, that was good. Like it was, I don't know how to describe that feeling. And some of it's like not knowing where they're going to go from here. Like
Mm.
when when JP3 ends, it's like as a fan, you can be like, oh man, what's next? Like even if you didn't like the movie, you're like, what's JP4? And it's like you could have conversations for years. Like Rebirth ends, and I'm like, I don't know I have no idea. Like the way they kind
Yeah.
of killed the dinos off on like across the world, except for like the equator. It's like I'm so curious what is next, but I have no idea where to even like brainstorm for fun.
Yeah,
I
and
hope
it's
it
so weird.
opens it.
Sorry,
I
you.
hope it opens it up to more movies around like around those islands in the equator. Honestly, it's just one thought, but yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I just it's
that's
weird
tough for
because
marketing though.
we we
Marketing the
know
same
for
thing again.
yeah we know for the reason Duncan survived in the end is because Universal didn't want to kill him off because they you know
They shot it both ways, yeah.
they shot it both ways, but they thought they obviously they're right in that Mahershala Ali is a true talent. You don't want to let go of him, but that I didn't feel like the movie ended and any of those characters have any reason or right to return. They don't serve any purpose going forward because there's no threads that were carried on. Um, I could be wrong. I know people have made an argument. At least Loomis could make a return, and I get that too. Now he's got the kind of it was a tough experience, but he did get to see dinosaurs in their environment, so he is more like there's a reason for him to be pulled back. I don't feel like Zora or Duncan have any reason to return, and I don't feel like their characters would really want to either, but their actors would, obviously, for the
I
Yeah.
paycheck.
I definitely don't feel like the family has any reason to return. I loved them, but
Oh,
like story wise, I don't
Yeah,
see
I
no.
them wanting to go through any of that ever
They
again.
they
I
didn't want to go
honestly
there in the
think
first place. Like, yeah.
Yeah.
I honestly think the family have more of a reason to come back rather than the others because they took the Equinox back.
That's true, yeah.
So
That is the only thread that I
yeah,
could
like that.
see.
Yeah,
Yeah, and it's not one I care about, but
no, I get that, but like I said it on the last podcast. Like my whole thing is I reckon the Equinox is gonna bite the girl like as a puppy, like has a puppy like play bites, and then it's gonna cause a virus or
Yeah,
something like
exactly.
that.
It's gonna
And
cause
that's what
something.
I think will happen.
Mm.
That's my theory, anyways, because it's gonna be like a puppy,
Dolores, the
and it's gonna
cute
cause
little
this.
dinosaur, is what causes global destruction.
And yeah, because I remember I mentioned this, and then someone was like, I forget who said it, was like, oh no, Universal wouldn't want to do that to their new mascot as a killer. But I'm like, no, but if it's an innocent like puppy bite, and then
Mm.
they don't know what happens, and then it causes this virus thing to break out. And plus, I think Alex said it as well from a Gareth Edwards interview that it's not just one Equilops, it's like 4 different ones that they pick up, so it's not
I would
the
so
original Dolores.
at the Collider, yeah, that's what it was. At the Collider Q&A in New York, Gareth said that an idea he had was that like maybe it's not the same Aquilops that keeps coming back to Isabella. Maybe it's there's a few of them and they keep showing up for Licorice.
Yeah,
They're all scared of the big dinosaurs and they're all cute, but like maybe it's like a few of them or something. I like
yeah.
that. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's what Alex referenced, and I liked it as well because like that's really funny that it's just a random one every single time. Like the first one went back to like all its friends, like this little girl's giving out free shit. Like they go to her, like the kind of like the compies in the Lost World. Like one comes out, throws the bread, and then all the other ones come out and things like that. I don't know. I quite like that, and
I
yeah, that's
mean,
the only way I can see like the movie having people
in
come back is that family
oh
portion
yeah,
there.
in the novels, like the compies bite people.
Yeah,
So I mean, and there's certainly a little similarity between like the compies and Dolores, in that they're like small and innocent looking, but they maybe bite you. So
yeah.
like that.
And then I just want Jonathan Bailey to return just because I feel like it's so good to have a paleontologist back into the franchise. Like that's where that's just me being like, yeah, bring him back because it just felt right. Even though what you say about like, he calls the Mosasaurus and the Quetz a dinosaur and people are a bit
I think there's an explanation for
yeah.
it. I don't think it's as big a deal, maybe, but with Jonathan Bailey's international stardom that he's gaining at the moment, like
They need to
I
sign
think
him up
that's
real quick. I said this on
yeah.
the last podcast as well that not comparing these two like as, the same person or whatever, but I'm just their career trajectories with Chris Pratt and Jonathan Bailey when they joined the Jurassic
Mm,
franchise and that rise to stardom when joining, it's very
mhm.
similar. Like
That's true.
2014, Guardians of the Galaxy, Chris Pratt, that was his like, big thing. Jonathan Bailey with Bridgerton and Wicked,
Wicked,
then
yeah.
Jurassic, and then
Yeah.
just shoot up. You know what I mean? So if they're planning to do more stuff, I think they have to sign him up real quick, especially because he's rumored to play James Bond. I think you guys were saying that
He's
Yeah,
was
I don't
rumor.
think
apparently
Oh, really?
I don't
I
think
don't
he'll
think
be Bond, but
yeah, I don't think that's gonna happen, but like people
Yeah,
have speculated, yeah.
but yeah,
they've
still like
definitely
the
seen
fact
that.
that
I
his
don't
his
see him as
name's
Bond.
being thrown around in that mix of things. It means Hollywood has
Yeah,
eyes on
yeah.
him to do other
Yeah.
things. So like sign him up real quick if his name's getting thrown around to new franchises and new movies and shit
Uh-huh.
like that.
Hopefully we don't get the Pedro Pascal fatigue though. That would be a little frustrating because
Yeah,
he's the new
I
Jurassic
like
guy.
I like Pedro Pascal, but like and he's a great actor, but like I him coming into Jurassic would be a little bit on the nose as far as like we're bringing in the big star now.
Oh yeah, it's just in everything. That's just
He's
oversaturation.
in a lot of stuff, yeah.
yeah.
Doctor Loomis, I can foresee him returning because he's the new paleontology guy. It makes sense. Like even though he didn't accurately say a mosasaurus is not a dinosaur, all that crap. Yeah. I can see him returning, but that Universal are like Scarlett Johansson, Mahershala Ali, Jonathan Bailey, and
With the
Jurassic
blood
Park
sucking
8.
lawyers.
Well, he's Loomis, if you want to look at it this way, like in Rebirth, he's kind of the one character who has a tie to previous stuff because
Hmm.
studied under Grant. And so
What did
I
you
mean,
think of that line?
I like it.
I thought it
I
was
mean,
cool.
it was subtle. Is subtle. He talks about how he's been going on digs for like 20 years, basically, and so that makes it make sense. And just to be the person who's being defensive of this, I think there is a defense of him calling them like grouping them into the dinosaur group. Like I don't think it's like this big sin, but like I don't know, it's a sin to kill a
I fully
dinosaur.
agree with you.
But yeah,
I fully
I
anyway.
agree because like internet's gone into that whole thing. But we
I
Yeah.
forgot to mention the best Jurassic Park 3 reference was the Billy nod, with Duncan. You
Oh,
forgot your hat. I got your hat. Now I
we needed
laughed in the premiere when that happened. I was like, man got the Billy treatment. Like it's just
Yeah,
we
yeah.
needed someone finding his beret and being like,
yeah. Oh, like imagine it's like his beret is just floating and they
The
pick it up
rescued your hat.
and then the flare goes off and they're like, I got your hat. I got your beret.
I got
Oh,
your beret. Yeah, I'm kind of with you, Dan. It's better than, for me, on a how much I enjoyed it kind of level. It's better than the World trilogy. I enjoyed it more, but it definitely didn't live up to the Jurassic Park 4 hype that I had hoped it would be. Um, yeah, more of the same. I mean, anybody that listens to these pods know where I kind of stand after the Rebirth review pod, but yeah. Where, are there any threads you can kind of foresee it taking in the next one? Is there any way you would like it to go, or are you kind of like done with there being sequels? Where do you stand as the JP3 guy?
Oh man, I have no idea. I At this point, I don't know what gets me excited when it comes to a next Jurassic Park movie. If anything, if they could go back to Sorna or Nublar, that would obviously be an easy hook to get me on board, no
equator
matter what
islands
they do.
around the equator.
Yeah, so I mean, I'm on board with that. I don't see Scarlett Johansson and Mahershala Ali coming back. I mean, they might, but it wouldn't like. I don't need them to. And I'm. I wonder how many people out there that saw the movie, like, was that the main draw for them, like the actors, like, is that a big enough draw, like bringing in Scarlett and Mahershala and Jonathan Bailey, or
Yeah,
do people just love dinosaurs in general? I don't know.
that's the
I
thing, because
might.
we've kind of we're leaving. I mean, you could argue we've already left the movie star era. There aren't really movie stars anymore, like in the same way there were 20, 30, 40 years ago. Tom Cruise is like arguably the one movie
The
star.
surviving movie
Yeah,
star.
yeah, and obviously there is a huge. I'm not saying Scarlett Johansson isn't worthy of, critical acclaim or whatever, but of course she is. They all are, but it's just like people. I don't think people go and see movies. I think it's a smaller minority now that go and see movies for the actor. You know?
mm.
Yeah, I might argue that like Jonathan Bailey, at like over time, might end up being the biggest like online, as far as like online chatter and movie community chatter. Like there were a couple. I've seen this movie way too many times in theaters already for context, but like there were a couple of times where I saw this where when Jonathan Bailey shows up, people cheered.
Yeah,
Like
that was my third time
and
last
so
weekend.
he's got a lot of
Ooh.
fans out there. He's got a lot of people screaming his name. So
Yeah,
like
even like on TikTok, since Rebirth has come out, there's been so many like first edits of Jonathan, like of Dr. Henry Loomis and stuff
first
like that.
edits.
Yeah, like so that's what I mean. Like he is like becoming the face, and like not saying that Scarlett Johansson is getting old or anything like that, but like Jonathan Bailey is on that come up,
hmm
and I think Universal, if they want to do something with this franchise again, then they need to sign him up as the face while he's on
Well,
this come up.
speaking of JP3 references and drafts in this movie, like let me ask you all this about a sequel idea. We talked about Grant living on the island and doing all that. Could you see a future where maybe Dr. Loomis decides he wants to go live on one of these dinosaur islands and he gets in over his head and somebody has to go help him or something? Like that would be very
Like he
Grant.
was sending out messages, and then all of a sudden the messages stopped, and whoever was listening were like, "We need
Yeah, like
to
'cause,
figure out what
the
happened."
boat thing, what was the tracker they had on the boat? Like, if it goes, like, dead for, like, 24 hours and the helicopter will, like
Zora
Oh,
had
oh,
told
yeah,
people to
yeah, yeah.
monitor their signal. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
so maybe, like, he does that, like, something on the same vein. Yeah, I can see that. But,
yeah.
yeah, if he's gonna live on an island, I don't want it to be, saying, "Hey there." Oh, how I probably butchered the
Yeah, I
name.
think
Uh,
maybe he goes to
Sorna.
Isla Sorna.
Yeah,
Yeah.
bring back Sorna. Like,
Maybe,
Jesus,
yeah.
seriously.
Maybe he becomes obsessed with, like, in the in-world lore of like InGen and like who bred the
Yeah.
first dinosaurs. He becomes a bit
Oh yeah,
obsessed with it, and then he's like, I've
What
heard
else
about
have they
these
these
made?
2 islands where it
these
all began.
dinosaurs, these original dinosaurs are more pure or something.
Yeah,
But
Yeah.
it's stuck on Sorna the movie.
yeah.
Oh,
Oh,
Jurassic
yeah,
World
that's
stuck
true.
on
I mean,
Sorna. Oh my god. They better give you a bag for that. For taking
Yes.
that.
that would be great. Oh man, yeah, that would get me excited. That's something. Going back to the Nublar and Sorna, easy win for me. Very simple, but we have to put an end to kids and families being on these islands. Like at a certain point, it's a bit of a stretch. I think even putting the family or the kids in the trailer for these movies was a negative for the average like moviegoer, where they're like, "Oh, kids again!" Like, who's bringing the amount of comments for the trailers where it's like, "Why are there kids on the island? Why is there family there?" Like,
Yeah,
it
yeah,
didn't
yeah.
fit with the whole storyline for the trailer, and then there's kids.
Duncan calls him on it
Yeah.
in the movie, which I appreciated.
Oh
But
yeah,
like, yeah, you're
yeah,
right though. Yeah.
It definitely feels like one of those. I know that for Jurassic World, Spielberg was, when Colin rewrote, Spielberg was like, it's got to be about the new park, has to be something else, and then has to have children in it. And I get it, the Amblin, the family movie thing, but yeah, you're totally right. Like, especially at this point in where we're at with the franchise, there should be no kids. And I
If
would
they
like
go to rescue Loomis, there's no reason for them to bring any children.
no reason for them to bring kids unless,
they'll
you
find a
know,
way.
somebody sneaks aboard like Kelly and Arby in the novel and like Kelly in The Lost
Yeah,
World. You know, somebody sneaks aboard the ship. But yeah, it's just too many times to suspend your disbelief. You know, uh, but yeah, I could take the island. I mean, at least they'd be pulling from old drafts again. Like the idea of him living on the island is an old Spielberg idea. Maybe.
I
yeah.
think
But
they just really need
I
to
mean,
like,
how do you make a
you.
movie, a Jurassic movie that's going to make $1 billion again, right? What's the storyline that's going to get people excited again? And I don't know. I hope they're working on it actively, and they have some great ideas. And I hope it's not like another 14-year gap between
Yeah.
films, because that was a rough, traumatic time for Jurassic fans. I mean,
It was a rough
so
time. And especially after JP3, and I will forever be bitter about this, but how the third movie ends with pteranodons finally escaping the island. And as we know from Peter Bookman's script, that was all about, there was a mainland story happening where people were getting attacked by pteranodons, but also they were figuring out that there were raptors in Costa Rica. That's something we never got, and it doesn't matter that after Dominion dinosaurs were all over the world. It doesn't matter. We never got that story. We never got the one that was inspired by the Michael Crichton novels. And JP3 ends and Pteranodon's leaving. Like they're flying away from the island, and we never saw the repercussions of that. And you know, it's a pipe dream, and this is obviously, it becomes fan canon if you want to say that. But I've been slowly thinking like maybe they would one day see Jurassic World as a different franchise and maybe go back and be like, let's make JP4, and it picks up when the Pteranodons arrive in Vancouver or somewhere. You know, I would love that if they were able to separate the two franchises. Jurassic World continues in its own right, and there's TV shows or whatever, but they make a set in 2005. You know, like
So with in the world, so what am I trying to say? Like with them all being around the equator now, maybe they could do the raptors have migrated to Costa Rica, like something
maybe,
like
but
that.
what raptors? Blue?
Well, it doesn't matter. They exist. They're in the world.
Yeah, I
William's
get it.
still out there kicking. You know how many eggs are on Sorna?
Yeah, well, we don't know what happened to Sorna. That I think they need to
No.
Maybe
address Sorna first.
maybe Loomis
Yes.
fulfills Billy Brennan's dream finally and gets an egg off the island. And
Maybe he had one all along. Maybe the next movie opens and
Oh,
he's got a little bag and he's like, "Look
oh,
what I
yeah.
I
stole."
My lucky
I
strap.
snuck an egg off of, yeah.
I mean, you never know. Like Aqualops is the only thread I can see, but you never know. Maybe maybe he did. Maybe they shot it. Maybe they were like, have a bag of eggs that you stole. You stole a D-Rex egg from the lab.
As
Wait,
far as I'm concerned, you're worse than the people that built this
yeah.
place.
We
No,
know
this
that
is how you play God.
they filmed a lot in when Loomis and Duncan arrive in the InGen lab. We know they filmed a lot that was cut from the movie. There's like 2 shots in the movie basically where they're in the. We know they filmed a lot more thanks to Alex and thanks to even interviews and like stuff you can see online. So it does make you wonder if while he's creeping around the lab and there's that promotional shot where he's inspecting the embryo thing. Maybe it was written in. Maybe there was a scene where he like takes something from the lab and it was supposed to
Stole
be
something.
a sequel setup and they never put it in the movie. But maybe that exists. You never know. With his inquisitiveness and how much he loves dinosaurs and like the fascination with the lab, maybe he would have done a Billy Brennan. And like it's in the same position, right? That nobody's nobody's coming to museums anymore. The museum's getting shut down. His career's in jeopardy. Maybe he was like, I could sell this egg on the black
I
market.
could, I could like sell
Malta.
this crazy sample or crazy looking creature that I have evidence of. Yeah, that's crazy.
Let the D-Rex out in some country he hates. Just like just lets the egg hatch.
Oh gosh.
But before we go, Jaden, do you have a Jurassic Park survival update for us?
Yes, I do. I did find one while we were yapping away. But before we get into that, I do want to ask Daniel, what are these thoughts on the Spinosauruses since Spinosaurus JP3 and
Oh, it's a good question.
Rebirth? I think we need to address that before we jump into survival
Yeah,
because
that's a good point. I thought it was pretty cool. I mean, I love on paper. If you told me there are multiple, was there 3, 4 Spinos? I think there's 4, right?
4, but like the sleeping one, is that like the one? Is that the first one that gets shot at and then swims away and then takes a nap? Like that's the one. If I'm confused if there's 5 or not, but I don't
Maybe
know.
there's 5. I mean, that to me is wild, but I don't know. I like it, but would I have preferred the classic JP3 design? Of course.
Oh,
That
yeah,
would have been mind-blowing
yeah.
to me if at some point, like in the film, that Spino walks out of the fog or smoke and like you just see the Spino. Like, even if the D-Rex like killed it instantly, I'd be like, that was cool.
Nah,
I'm
nah,
a
nah,
That
simple
would
nah.
be
guy.
a
What,
that
what
I
are
would be
want
you
to
a
saying
see,
there?
JP3 moment.
Yeah,
at least showing
nah.
it like in the light clearly. I wanted that original design, but I do like the Spino I like that it's back. I mean, that's pretty cool. I mean, it's
Got the
so
most kills
jarring to
again.
me. What was that?
Got the most kills again.
True.
They're still, they're showing that it's still on
Yeah.
top.
Look at that. That's
Yeah.
interesting.
The T-Rex
Yeah.
couldn't even pop a raft, by the way. T-Rex fans. So when you say in Jurassic Park 3, when the T-Rex chomps down on the Spino's neck, they're like, oh, realistically, that would have killed it. No, because it can't even blow up a piece of plastic. So there you go.
Well, the
Spino's on
argument though
top.
is this was an InGen raft made on that island that was it must have been designed with dinosaur jaws in mind, right? It's an escape pod.
I'm not taking
It's a
it.
serious industrial grade raft, and it was wet. But like, yeah.
T-Rex probably should have been able to punch
Spino's
over.
on top.
What did you think of the designs and everything, Dan? The Spinosaurus design. Were you happy with that they changed it, or do you wish that they had just kind of kept?
Oh, they
OG
should have kept it
Spinosaurus?
completely. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm not a fan of the new design. I don't care if it's more scientifically accurate. I mean, these are monsters on an island. Like the original design, the JP3 design it's stuck in my head. I've seen the movie too many times. Like you can't just change that. And it's very jarring. It's like a whole separate dinosaur.
It should
Basically.
have been a different species. I feel like it just should have been a different species because they've never changed a T-Rex. Like, and I get it. The Spinosaurus in real life is changing, and they believe now it's even more aquatic than it was depicted in JP3. But yeah, I personally feel like they should have just kept it the same design. That would have just been. We saw the dinosaur swimming underwater in JP3. We know it could have done it.
Yeah, and they
It's
could have had both.
amphibious.
I think it's just an example of, Universal like not fully understanding some of the fans. I mean, yeah, bring the Spino back, cool. I was happy about that. But also, I mean, changing it so drastically where, I mean, you could have both on the island, but I don't know. It didn't bother me too much like it did with the Raptors, but
I think it's I mean, this is just me fanning, but like this, I think it's a separate genome that they made after the JP3 Spino that like was they nailed the like again I'm fanning, but like they nailed the genome. It's more accurate to what it was when it was a real animal,
Yeah.
and like I mean, and that's made it's aggressive and less you're less able to control it when it's in the water. So like that's why it's on this dangerous island or whatever. But like
Yeah.
that's just me. But yeah,
No, it's a strong argument for that, and we're in a completely different environment. So, and we know that this lab was 2008, 2009, 2010. So
2010, yeah.
Mm.
I
definitely
and
a Masrani era Spinosaurus. Maybe it was for the World Park, but
And to be clear, like the JP3 Spinosaurus is people say iconic way too much these days, but the JP3 Spinosaurus is an icon dinosaur design. Like it's great. So
Peak
and it
cinema.
never got its follow up. It never got screen time again. That's why I've never really. I guess I would be for it, but I feel like they would just do the same. They would do the same thing they've done with the world movies if they were to do a Jurassic Park TV series. But you could do a mini series that takes us back to that era, and maybe we see InGen on Sorna making the Spinosaurus. Maybe we see a baby Spinosaurus. How fun! Like I would love to see that.
Mm.
Maybe we see Sorna before. Everybody's always wanted to see Sorna before the hurricane, before it got shut down, like in Operation Sorna. And they did, I guess they gave us some of in Operation InGen in Rebirth, but Sorna, maybe like when they made the Spino, here it is. Like, I don't know, that could be fun. Maybe.
Jurassic Park Survival
Engines list.
update.
Go on, hit
It's
us with the survival update.
it's a small update, but this is from Life Finds a Way on Twitter or X, whatever you want to call it. They're pretty they're very good with like posting like even the smallest updates and things like that. But so Jurassic Park Survival on their Steam page have updated their trailer links, and that's about it. Which is pretty weird that they've updated their trailer links. I
To
know
links to what though?
to their Jurassic Park Survival trailer. They've
What
changed
was
the
it
link for it.
to what though? Like from
It's
what
just
to
like
what?
it's just a different
It's just
link,
it's
or
just an updated link. It's a from a WebM file to a MP4 file.
Oh right,
That's it.
right.
So like it's legit nothing, but
well, it's
it's not
interesting, I guess,
nothing, but like yeah,
from a marketing or perspective or whatever, like that they're paying attention to that page and
yeah,
doing something
and
with it.
also
That's
Gamescom is in August, so
Oh, I don't want to
I,
get
I,
hyped up.
yeah, I'm not doing it anymore. I'm done. I'm done with it.
You're the
I
one
think
who
we'll
keeps
get.
hyping it up,
Well,
Jaden.
it's
You
not my fault. Universal put the stars align. The stars always align, and they never fulfill it.
maybe
It's not
they're
my
doing it
fault.
like maybe they're trying to play it like Rockstar Games where they get the fans hyped up by putting subliminal messages and stuff, and then they pull the rug from under the fans who have convinced themselves that it's meant to come on this date. Maybe they've been paying attention to Jaden's streams where he's convincing his thousands of followers like, yeah, it's going to be on this date, everybody. It's going to be on this date. And he's telling the Outpost group, he's like, guys, it's going to be on this date.
Well,
And they were like, yeah, we were going to do it on that date, but
I,
now we're gonna ruin Jaden's day.
all I'm gonna say is that my WWE and Jurassic World prophecy did happen. It did happen the week before Rebirth, so it
So
did happen.
what's that? 10-1? What? How many?
Yeah, yeah. I still think that Game Awards is when we'll see something. I'm not saying yeah, sorry, I probably sound like a dick saying that it's nothing information, but yeah, there is something to it. But I think I'm just like burnt out now on just Jurassic Park Survival and the whole point of that they did three updates this year, 3 months in a row, and for what? Like I don't get the point of it, especially not to do anything for Jurassic June 10th year anniversary, not even trying to align something with Rebirth. I just don't get the point of the updates. We already know you're working on the game. Like that's the whole point of why you're being silent last year, because you're working silently on the game to then just tell us, hey guys, we're still working on the game. Like, okay, cool.
Yeah, I saw the
Like,
other day Saber like
okay.
announced a different game too, which is fine. They're allowed to work on other games. I just mean I feel like they've announced so many games. Like there was a bus simulator game the other day that they dropped a trailer for, and I was like, what is going on with Jurassic Park? That's surely that's like the whole team should be working on that game right now. That's going to be a massive property for them, and they're like,
Jurassic Bus.
yeah,
Jurassic
it's
Bus,
like
the
Bus
Crichton Middle School
Simulator
bus.
2025, which is fine. No issues with a game like that, but like surely Jurassic's the most important title for them right now.
Yeah,
Do
I
we
don't
think
know.
they're like trying to? So like season 4 of Chaos Theory doesn't come out until November. So
Mm.
like, do we think they're trying to like just stay out of the way and distance themselves a little bit?
I,
I
I
guess.
mean, I always thought 2026 was an ideal release date because I feel like if it came out this year, it's gonna be rushed, especially with the updates that they have given, where they're like still cooking up fresh ideas,
Yeah,
guys.
And yeah,
back to
Like,
and
basics.
Evolution 3, I guess. Like that's another
yeah,
thing to like in the
it's a good
mix.
year for Jurassic, like in regards to like whatever you think about the movie, but like media wise, from what we've got this year, it's more than any other year we've had. We've gotten we're gonna get 2 seasons of Chaos Theory, new movie. We got a bunch of game clubs as well, whatever you think about Roblox and Stumble Guys, which are children's games, by the way, because Universal don't like doing adult games or mature games. But whatever you think about it, they did do stuff like that. So I can't knock them too much, but yeah,
Yeah, yeah, they
it's I can't turn my back on what they've done this year because it's more than what they've done previous years.
it
But
always
still,
reminds me like when you tell us about all these collaborations, I'm like, I don't even know what that is, but cool. But it reminds me like Jurassic Park 3's games were all educational games or like kid focused games, and the one that wasn't, the Jurassic Park Survival, funnily enough, they they canned it. Like they, I will always be bitter about that. Dan, were you the same? Like JP3 was your whole life for a while. I mean, arguably still is, but JP3 was your whole life. And there was this game coming that was like kind of JP3 tie-in. It was the same logo, but it was called Jurassic Park Survival. Were you obsessed with that game too? Like waiting for it?
No, I wasn't actually. I was. I mean, I played some of the JP3, the more kid-friendly games.
Dino Defender, things like that.
Oh yeah, um, but no, I don't think I was much aware of JP Survival at that point. I guess it wasn't. I'm not too big of a gamer. I still play N64. You know,
Fair enough. Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
simple. You know, I'm stuck back in the late '90s. I'm still trying to beat Diddy Kong Racing. I've been playing it for 27 years. I can't beat the boss, that darn squid or the octopus. So no,
That's
I
hilarious.
wasn't too up to date on survival.
Fair enough. Okay, so it didn't hit you too hard when they cancelled that guy. I still
No,
remember
no.
sitting there asking my dad for an update, and he was like, "Looks like they cancelled it," and I was like, "What the fuck, Dad?" I was like 11 or something. I was like, "What is going on? What cancelled it?" I'm
this
just
is
You were
waiting.
11.
bullshit.
You were 11 years old, saying, "What the fuck?" Uh,
What is going on? No,
but please, please, like that better not happen. This I don't think it's going to happen. To be clear, but like they better not.
well, that's kind of
um,
why I bring it up, because it's like the way they've handled the game has been a little bit, you know, they did an amazing trailer. So did the first game, and then it was like, yeah, no, we're working on it. We're like thumbs up, like convincing us they're working on it. Like, oh, here's a screenshot, which they did with that game back then too. It's followed the same trajectory, and then it's kind of gone quiet, and that's what that game did too. It went quiet, and then I'm like, if they were aware of this, which they should be, because it's the same name, surely some of the developers have like Googled it and been like, what the fuck is this original game? Like, you know, maybe I just feel like I hope they're aware. Like, yeah, I don't want them
is
to handle it the same way, because
is
if it
this a
does end
safe
up,
space? Yeah.
no, yeah, of
No.
course.
I look. I do believe that the game will come out, but this is what I meant. Like this is, but even before the movie, I kept saying I just hope that even before Gareth Edwards said that iconic line the week before the movie came out, I said that I want this to be a rebirth of the franchise and the IP. But from what they've shown and things like that, and you know how this rebirth was supposed to be rated R, brutally violent, all that stuff. We didn't get any of that,
No,
and they still focus on the kids element of it. And just with I know we saw the Mutandon get shot, and it was really cool and stuff like that. But I really don't think it's gonna be that mature game that we want. I think they're gonna still play it safe and not give the fans the Jurassic game that we want. I know I'm sounding negative about that, but I'm just saying from what is presented for the past 10 years with what Universal and Jurassic Park IP do with video games and things like that, it does not convince me. And then with what Rebirth has, Rebirth, like I like it, but the whole thing of being brutally violent, gory, and things like that, and then we didn't really get that. I just can't see them making a game where it's actually going to cater to the mature audience because what Jurassic has shown is that they don't really mature with their audience at all.
I totally get what you're saying, and I hope that you're wrong.
Wrong. I hope I'm wrong as well.
But yeah, it makes you wonder if this whole, was it January, February, the back to basics, like back to the drawing board, cooking up some new ideas for
Yeah,
survival.
From March, April, May were the
So it
3
was March,
months.
that one, wasn't it? Yeah. So I
Yeah,
wonder
March
if
was the first one.
it makes you wonder if they had almost like, whether it be a vertical slice or like a demo of the Jurassic Park survival, and they showed it to Universal and Amblin, and they were like, no, this is too violent. You can't. No, this isn't what we want. This isn't what we want. And maybe they were forced
Yeah.
to go back
I'll
to.
never blame Saber. I'll always blame Universal because
Yeah,
I
because
feel
Saber
like
have
when you're
done
work
some, like,
yeah,
Quiet Place game doesn't hold back. You know.
well, we even saw it with Gareth Edwards. It kind of felt like his decisions were he was working with one hand behind his back, like he couldn't kill off Duncan because Universal wanted to overrule that and stuff like that. So with Saber, I feel like it's the same thing where they want to make a Jurassic game for the fans, but they're working with one arm tied behind their back because Universal want to cater it to kids and stuff like that. I'm only saying what is in front of us and from what we see for the IP.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Hey, here's to this being a rebirth for the franchise where we allow dinosaurs to get shot, where we do violent
Yeah.
things.
Yeah.
I mean, Rebirth having the first dinosaur get shot and killed on screen, like that's an
It's a
interesting
big
thing,
deal. It's a big
honestly.
deal. But
So,
yeah,
but
I
what
don't
you're
know if
saying
that
is
one
correct.
yeah, well that one thing, I don't know if that will be enough to change the whole trajectory of the IP
Yeah,
to then do like mature with the audience and things like that. Because ever
yeah,
since Jack started saying it, like, oh, I've wanted it to grow up with me. And the more I think about him saying that, I'm like, yeah, because the Jurassic World generation, like I'm the Jurassic World generation. I was 15 when it came out. And everyone that grew up with Jurassic World is now like 18 plus, now.
true.
And they haven't really matured with that generation either. And even the people and the TikTokers that were putting out the false information of Jurassic World Rebirth being R-rated, so many people on TikTok, like all the generation fans, like from my generation, like the Gen Z, were like, oh my god, I want this violent Jurassic movie. I want it to be rated R. I want it to be like the novels. So everyone wants that, from
Yeah,
the Gen Z to like all the older generations. Everyone wants that mature tone, but they're not doing that at all. So
they could do it
yeah,
more.
yeah,
Yeah.
they can.
You make a really good point. I do hope that survival hasn't been restricted, because no, hoping that the inspiration is Alien Isolation, because I mean that game, you know what's coming, and it's still scary. Like, if you get when you get whacked by the xenomorph, like that's scary when it jumps out at you. And it would be the same with Velociraptors. And I hope they weren't putting together. I hope they didn't put a demo together, and I hope they didn't show Universal, and Universal were like, nope, cut that. It's scary. Like, it's too
Yep.
scary, because this is going using the park title as well. It's like the ultimate detachment
Nostalgia
from the
bait.
world. So
Yeah.
give us some other time. Anyway, that's enough about games. Before we go, Dan, you stuck on Sorna? You've done one season, right?
Yes, and I'm slowly working on a second one.
You are indeed working. So who can you say who you have interviewed so far? Obviously, Joe.
Joe. I've interviewed, let's see. Oh man. It's been, I think I started recording like last year. Might be mispronouncing his name, Don Devine. I think he's one of the like camera operator A, like the main camera operator. Like, um, I've been trying to get, I think, Bob West. He was listed as a graphic designer in the credits, and I started talking to him. I'm like, "What did you work on?" He's like, "Oh, not too much, but I'm also the voice of Barney." And I
Okay.
was like,
That's
"Oh,"
amazing.
and I was like totally shocked. So I've been like in communication with them, trying to set something up because I'm also curious about how the evolution of Barney into the film.
Yeah.
Like, did he even know about it? Like, was it a surprise to him, the voice of Barney? Like, oh, you like so curious about that.
But also, if he was listed as graphic designer, did you ask him about the breakout and extinction and all those crazy logos?
I didn't. The one thing I think he worked on was, I think like the resonating chamber, like something on the computer screen.
Okay.
I I forget what he said, but he said it wasn't too much. But I was hoping to get some more information from him. I just have not been able to contact him. I mean, to set up a time yet, so we're still kind of working on that. And then definitely a handful of fans, including Jaden right there.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, I'm trying to find my folder, see who else I talked to, but I mean, it's been going. I talked to the production assistant Jocko. He's the one that shared those Spinosaurus images I have on Instagram, the
Yes.
black and white ones. I
Yes.
talked to Jeff Gerwood. He worked right outside Universal Studios, like when they were filming JP3. He's got the pictures like on set, like walking through the engine, the lab. I'm sure you've seen some of those images from that time period. Interviewed movie tour Bob. I forget his name.
Oh, Bob, what Hawaii
I was
movie
movie
tours?
tours.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, fascinating conversation because he was like spying on the production, like crawling through the jungle to
Yeah.
get pictures, like really to help promote his own business too,
He was
like
the
the movie
original
tour.
Real News Hawaii. He was the guy.
Oh man,
He was like
yeah, he
stealing
caused some problems
script
too.
sets, right?
Yeah, he released pages of the script online
Yes.
while they were filming.
Legend. Wow,
Yeah, and
you
you can
got
if you.
Bob. You got Bob. That's awesome.
Oh my god, it's great. Yeah, you should use the Wayback Machine, the website, and like go find um the movie tour website. Like he had his own website, and he was just releasing whatever pictures he could find, and like script pages, and like just fascinating. So I mean, it's
I'm pretty sure he
I
even
talked.
got like pictures of Sam Neill's like first day on set, arriving in
Yeah, like
Hawaii, like
right.
snap pictures of.
He was like at the hotels. I mean, he was a problem because then talking to the production assistant Jocko, like they knew of movie tour Bob, like to look out for this guy. Like he was.
He was a menace.
It's pretty funny, but he was. I mean, a grown man, but he had a business, and I mean that in his mind, it was like promoting, like they're filming a new Jurassic Park movie.
Mhm.
Come out here to Hawaii. I'll show you where they're filming. Like this was, part of
Yeah,
his job. So
Get your bag, King.
that's it. Yeah.
Yeah, get your bag.
And is there anybody scheduled other than Joe? Because I think you may have like a follow up with Joe, right? At some point.
I'm hoping to because we had talked about um he about rewatching Jurassic Park 3 or the Jurassic World films, kind of getting his opinion, like what he feels about those. That's something I'm hoping to follow up with him on. Um, I did talk to Larry Franco. He didn't have much to say, which I was shocked by because I was really like it took me a while to get in touch with him. I mean, years.
Right. Yeah.
And then when I did, it was just kind of more like I haven't seen the movie since the premiere, but I'll answer what I can. Um,
You'd be like, let's do this again, Larry. Go and watch JP3 and then we'll
I
chat
know.
again.
I'm like, how have you not watched JP3 in the past 24 years? I mean,
was he
but yeah,
was he Joe Johnston's producer, like brought on through Joe, or was he?
I believe so because they've worked together, I think a couple times, and clearly Joe is still in touch with Larry because I mean, you mentioned sending him the fan video, but I think Larry described himself more as I don't know, associate producer. He basically made it seem like Kathy was like the actual producer.
Yeah.
I don't know. But in the credits they're both listed together as the only two producers. So,
Interesting.
you know.
Well, I bet Joe would have some very interesting things to say, especially now after seeing the video and hearing all of that. So, yeah.
I hope so. Yeah, I hope he, because when I was talking to him, I don't know if he fully believed me when you say, like, Joe, there's fans out there. We love Jurassic Park 3. It's not like, don't listen to the critics or like the loudest people on the internet. Like, because he brought up the dream sequence, how it like seems to have like irritated people on the internet. And I'm like, yeah, but it's like, I love the movie. I laugh when I see those. Like, I don't take it as like it's funny. I don't know. So I mean, it's all
Yeah.
how you take it, and yeah, hopefully he
Yeah.
has a new view of the film and how people feel towards it. So I would love to chat with him again. But there's constantly people like still reaching out to. Oh, we'll set up a time. Okay, reach back out. Keep checking in like every few months because it's like I don't want to be too annoying to these people. But
yeah, no, I get
you
it.
know,
But well, I'm looking forward to that. Hopefully, do you think this year, or do you think it'll be next year? Maybe to coincide with the 25th that you'll drop that season.
my goal is for the 25th anniversary.
Okay.
But it's tough having interviews that I want to share, and it's kind of like I don't know. So it just takes me so long to reach out to people and like set it up.
Yeah.
And I know what it's going to be. Like last time, it was like you release a couple episodes, and then people reach out to me or like, oh, you should talk to this person. And it's like once they kind of hear what I'm working on, I don't know. It's I'll probably wait, but it's
maybe
tough.
some incentive to drop a couple episodes now, but
That's true. I know.
get the ball rolling.
I haven't. I have an interview with Lauren Polizzi. She was like set designer on the Jurassic Park and the Lost World, and I had interviewed her just out of like curiosity. Like I'm like, I don't think it's gonna fit with the podcast, but I'll probably like release it. So I wanted to do like an update episode that I meant to release like yesterday for JP Day, but JP3 Day, but didn't finish it. But there is potential to release some stuff like that because that was a fascinating conversation with her talking about the design work and like the set building on the first two films. Just it's pretty interesting.
That would be good. I mean, I'm looking forward to it. I remember I think I re-listened to all of them a year or so ago while I was in the gym. I was like working out and listening to the Jurassic Park 3 in my headphones, listening to your conversations. And that's when I hadn't listened. For some reason, I hadn't listened to episode 7, the Bushman draft read through.
Yeah.
So when that came on, I was like, oh shit, this is like the whole thing. This is like an hour 30. I was like, oh, this is a thing. So anybody out there who hasn't listened to season 1 of Stuck on Sorna, the Jurassic Park 3 podcast, you want to, I guess like Linktree would be the best place, right? You can just search Stuck on Sorna on YouTube, but your Linktree will link in the description of this podcast. Probably the best place to find all of your...
Yeah, that or just, I mean, I feel like Instagram, Stuck on Sorna, occasionally on X, on Twitter. Not too much. I'll delete Twitter here and there and just get back to it because I get, I don't know. It takes a lot out of me. I just keep scrolling and I can't, too much going on in the world. But Instagram for sure.
Yeah.
Linktree, Stuck on Sorna.
Yeah.
All right. Well, Dan, thank you so much for joining us. Caleb, thank you, man. Jaden, thank you so much. I understand this was very early for you.
Oh, dude, it's fine. Anything for JP3. Anything for this greatest movie ever.
And I will say again, thank you to everybody that submitted a video because we had a lot of fun putting that together. And obviously, as you know, it has now been watched by somebody very important and probably more people who put that movie together. So it was worth doing. Dan, thank you so much. Links are in the description. Stuck on Sorna. Jurassic Park 3 is the best one.
Caleb said it. I mean, okay, why did I say Caleb? Sorry, earlier on. Jack said it. Clip it, and ship it. Sorry,
I heard Caleb say it, so I don't know.
Nah, it's
go to the Jurassic Outpost YouTube channel and watch our JP3 video. There's so many great people in there for a great movie. So.
Yes. Hell yeah. Slay.